Guys, welcome back to the channel. Nice Pink Bookshelf. My name is Denise for those of you who are new to the channel or who just happen to stumble across this video. And today's video is going to be my November book haul. I almost said October, but November book haul. And I have a good mix of books here. So I'm going to start off with the books that were sent to me for review. I did receive a lot of e-arcs as well as ebooks, but I don't normally share those with you guys. If you guys are interested in knowing which kind of ebooks and e-arcs I've gotten, let me know. I am a NetGalley member, so I do always get a lot of arcs from NetGalley, but we're gonna get into the physical book. So the first book I have actually read quickly. I read it in one sitting. It was so good, and it's Fawned by Pior. I think my review for this is linked down below, but this is a LGBTQ plus IA rep. I hope I'm saying that right. Romance novel. It's contemporary romance with a little bit of erotica in a sense, because there is some slight BDSM discussion within this book. This book also touches on suicide, depression, and things like that, and your self-worth and how you look at yourself in the mirror in a sense. This was really cute. I absolutely adored it. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about reading this, but this is being compared to Dear Evan, I think it is, as well as I believe it's 50 Shades of Grey. It's not as like extreme as 50 Shades of Grey at all. It's definitely an easy read, something to get into, but if you're not into steamy romances, I would not read this. If you're not into LGBTQ plus rep books, don't read this, because this is definitely about two guys. So this guy's name is Barnaby, and then this one is Gil. Gil is basically like the playboy on campus, and Barnaby is very much trying to get into his sexuality, try to figure out who he is, what he likes, and the two of them hook up, one night stand type of thing, and then things progress from there. I really enjoy the depth of the characters within this story. It is so sweet, and the title Fawned has a meaning to the story. If you look on the back, there is a fawn on the back, but fawn has something to do with the novel. You have to read it. It is so sweet, so cute. I definitely can see me rereading this again, because I read it so quickly that I did not get a chance to tab it up, because I received this in the mail a day prior to my book review having to be up, so I had to read it really quickly. But I definitely can see me rereading this book and annotating it up, because it's so cute, it's so just sweet and everything. And yeah, we have this. Next book I have is King of the Rising by Kacen Callendar. This is the sequel to Queen of the Conquered and the final book in the duology, and this is a YA. No, not YA. It's adult fantasy. It is Caribbean inspired fantasy, and it is really good. It talks about colonization and all of that great stuff, and racism, colorism, and things like that. And I enjoyed the wild ride. I really enjoyed the magic system in this, and I think it's epic. So we have this. The next two books I got are journals. I actually got this one for the review, so it's the Thankful Unicorn Dream journal. It's a coloring book and gratitude journal. It is hardcover. It comes with a band, and there are unicorns on it. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this for myself. I honestly would, just because it's so cute, but there are like these sections here, and all the sections say the same, like all the pages say the same thing. So it says, today I'm grateful for my dreams and goals, what I love about myself, and then my affirmations. And you do 3 for each, and then you always have a new page over here to color of different unicorns. So it's never the same unicorn image. There are some different images to color. And I don't know if I want to keep it or not. I think it's just so cute and quick and easy. It'd be like something fun to do. I could give it to a little, one of the young girls at my church. I could keep it for, I don't know, but it's cute. And then shockingly enough, when that one came in the mail, this was also in there. So this is a Reindeer thankful journal. Same thing. The only difference is it's more Christmassy, and it has reindeers in it. So pretty much the same thing. Again, I could keep this for my son, because my son is 6 years old. He'll be 7 soon. In 2 months he'll be 7, so I definitely plan on keeping this for my son. But yeah, same kind of thing, where it says, today I'm thankful for my dreams and goals, what I love about myself, and then my affirmations. And it just has like wreaths and lights and stuff like that that are Christmas themed. So we have that. Following that, I got this little cute children's book. I adore this children's book. I love the content within. I love the images. I love the setting of it. So it's called Ming's Christmas Wish, written by Susan L. Gong, illustrated by Masahiro Tataishi. I think that's how you say that. I am not the best at saying names. I apologize. But This is such a cute novel. I did get this for review from Shadow Mountain Publication, and I've been working with them for a long time. I love a lot of their middle grade novels, and I'm also reading their contemporaries and historical fictions. But this is a children's book all about Christmas, and it's set in the 1930s in California, following Ming. And Ming has this dream of singing in the Christmas choir, but she's never really picked. She doesn't feel like she's Chinese enough, and she also doesn't feel like she's American enough. And it's just a wholesome, like, it's just wholesome, and I really like the end pages. Let me just show you guys quickly. The end pages are more so maps, if anything, on the front, and then the end page on the back looks like this. Hopefully you guys are able to see this, but I enjoyed reading this. I loved the art. Let me just show you guys. It's so stunning. Like, the artwork is phenomenal. I loved it so much. I'm trying to get this in frame. Hopefully it's in frame. And then also the way that the setting is depicted. Let me just show. I love the 1930s feel. Ooh, here we go. Like that. So yeah, this book is so cute and amazing, and I did read it to my son and he enjoyed it. So we have that. All right, so now moving on to one book that I actually just got as a gift. I went to a church and I saw this book. I saw these books like a month ago, and they still had some left, so I picked it up to read it, and I took a picture because I was gonna buy it, but the pastor said, you know, no, take it. So I got this. It's Women of the Bible, Heroines and Lessons They Can Still Teach Us. It's by American Bible Society, and it goes through 70 women of the Bible, just little brief sort of devotionals about them and things like that. So I'm excited. I love the images that are throughout this. This is definitely like a coffee table book, if that makes sense. I love just all of the images throughout. So we have this, and I can't wait to dive into this. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the next 5 books, which I actually got from Erin over at Booked and Busy. So the first book I'm going to show you guys, I actually won in the giveaway. Her, as well as Monet from Life as Monet, were doing a read-along for the Legacy trilogy. So we read Legacy of Ash, and then they were going to read the second book in November because it was released, and they were both giving away a copy. And one of the questions I answered, and I thought it was funny that I got it because I actually remembered that. And so I do have my copy of Legacy of Steel by Matthew Ward from Erin, which is a massive doozy. Shockingly enough, this book I believe is 10 pages less than the first book. I read Legacy of Ash. I gave it 4 stars. I was intrigued. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the world building, the magic system. The characters were all amazing. I love me some Victor and Jocelyn. Kaylnn and Abigail pissed me off, but Abigail got what she deserved at the end, so yes, I'm happy. I'm still trying to figure out things with Kaylnn because that ending I don't understand, but I'm excited to continue on. Hopefully it keeps my attention more so than the first book, because I found that I was zoning out with the first book, but this is just a continuation of Legacy of Ash. So if you have not read Legacy of Ash, I would say get it. It's a 4-star read for me. I really enjoyed it. But I know that Life as Monet adores she adores it. 5-star read for her. So yeah, I love the cover of this. It's pretty much the same cover, but they did change the medallion, and instead of red and orange, it's more of your blue colors. So we have Legacy of Ash, which is an adult fantasy. The next book she threw on the box was actually this arc. She just hit me up and said if I wanted one of the arcs that she had, and I said yeah, because this was a book I definitely wanted to get my hands on. I think she had mixed feelings about this book, so I will try to find her review for this, and you can just click the eye to go watch her review. But it's The Bone Shard Daughter by Andrea Stewart. It's epic fantasy, and it came out already, and it's the arc, and I don't mind having the arc. I'm excited to dive into this, and if I do love it enough to give it a 5-star read, I will go pick up the hardcover, because I did see the hardcover when I made a trip to Barnes & Nobles. But I know that this is Chinese inspired fantasy, or Asian. It just says Asian inspired fantasy. So it's an Asian inspired world. Crumbling empires, battling heirs mark the debut of a major new voice in epic fantasy. It's perfect for fans of the Poppy War and City of Brass. I read both, so yeah, I'm excited to dive into this and see what my thoughts are for this. The next 2 books I actually paid for. She posted these on Instagram that she was selling some books, and these 2 books were books that I really wanted to get my hands on. So we have Cinderella is Dead by Kaylnn Bayron. Here we go. YA fantasy. I don't want to say it's sort of a Cinderella retelling, because I don't think it's a retelling of Cinderella. It just is like a continuation of Cinderella, and it's LGBTQ plus IA rep in this book as well. So I'm excited to dive into this and see what I think. Then this book here is actually a Owl Crate. I think is it Owl Crate exclusive. Yes, Owl Crate exclusive, first signed edition. So here is the signing of the author, but it's Horrid by Katrina Leno. She did also read this as well, and I don't think she enjoyed it as much. So I'm not big on horrors, thrillers, suspenses, or anything like that. I'm still new to the genre, so I'm interested in this here. I love the cover, it's really pretty, and then also underneath is not creepy, but it's, you know, it's nice. Here we go. So yeah, I paid for these 2 books from her, so I'm happy to have these on my shelves now. Okay, so then going to Walmart, I go to Walmart almost like every week. And the Walmart I go to, they have like a dedicated aisle specifically for books, and they have a lot of new releases. So I picked up 2 books, and I'm an idiot for picking up both of these because they're kind of like, one is a prequel to a series I have yet to start, and then the other one is a sequel, but whatever. So the sequel I got is actually the sequel to A Tale of Magic by Chris Colfer, and it's A Tale of Witchcraft. So I need to get my hands on a physical copy of the first book, but I might just read the ebook to see if I like it. But the cover was just intriguing to me, and I love that on the front you see the little girl there and the wolves, but when you take off the dust jacket, it's real creepy. Like, the girl turns into a doll, and then you get the creepy little things around, and I don't know, middle grade novels have such cute like dust jackets and art, and the map on the inside is really nice. So I don't know much about it, it's just middle grade fantasy. That's all I know. Following that, I got this, which I didn't realize it was part of the prequel trilogy to the series. I do own the entire series on ebook. I haven't read it yet, and I'm thinking about getting physical copies, but I don't know. But I have Dune, Atreides. I'm probably saying it wrong, but it's by Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson, and it's the prequel to the classic novel. This is the first prequel. There are 3 books in this prequel trilogy, and then the series is 6 books. I don't know what I was thinking. I really thought this was Dune, like the first book, but it's the first book in the prequel series, so I have it. It's okay. It was like $7, I think. Yeah, $7.48 at Walmart. So we have it, and all I know is that this is sci-fi. I believe maybe dystopian, but it's definitely a sci-fi. So yeah. Okay, so the next 5 books I got off of Amazon, and the first 2 I'm going to show you guys are both adult novels, both pretty much adult sci-fi fantasy books, and I got these specifically for book club books for the Busy Bee Book Club. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, click the eye to go to that video. Aaron from Booked and Busy has a book club that I have been partaking in every month, and it's been so awesome. So for the months of December and February, I needed a copy of the books. So I have The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson, and all I know is that this is a adult fantasy all about witches, and it does deal with some hard-hitting topics such as rape and things like that, and I'm excited to see what my thoughts are going to be on this book. I know many people have mixed reviews. I'm interested to see where I fall on the spectrum, and I also wanted a physical copy just to support the author. She's PLC author, so why not? And I don't know much about it, pretty much like I said. So yep, I know there's a black main character, if I'm not mistaken, and yeah, there's killing of witches. That's all that I know, honestly, and I'm gonna go into it as blind as that because I want to enjoy the story and not let the marketing or the synopsis sort of spoil it for me. So yeah. The next book I got is actually the book club pick for February, and it's Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. Now, I do own her Trails of Lightning. I don't know what the name of the series is, but I own it on ebook. I have yet to read it. Problems. But I wanted to get this because I'm loving the cover. I love I don't know if you guys can see like the shimmer to the words. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but this is considered I would say epic sci-fi, I guess, with some fantasy aspects as well to it, and I've heard great things about this book, so I'm excited to dive in again. I don't know much about it just because that's how I go into books, but I will say I love the end pages of these books. They're gorgeous. Like, that's the front, and then here is the back, which is the city of Tova. And Rebecca Roanhorse is an indigenous author, so I'm excited to dive into this book and see where I fall. Is that a bird? Oh, that is so cute. I love pretty headers, and I think that even though it's simple, it's still pretty. So we have that. Like I said, the last 3 books are going to be middle grade that I picked up. So this one I already read. I love this series, this trilogy completely. I've actually received the entire trilogy already for review from the publishing company, but they weren't able to send me a finished copy of the final book with COVID and everything. So I just went on Amazon and purchased it myself because I really wanted to have it. And it's Magical Horrid. It's the 3rd book in the Wizard for Hire series by Obert, Skye, and this is so cute. I love Ozzy, I love Siggy, I love Ren, I love Clark. There is a mechanical bird, he's a talking bird, and it's so funny. And Ozzy is such a brilliant, smart, intelligent kid. Ren is this supposed magician. We don't know if he's a wizard or not. No one knows. You basically will never know if he's really a wizard or not, because there's like certain things that he does where you think he's a wizard, but then it's like maybe he's just a crazy person. You'll never know. And he is a wizard that wears a yellow bathrobe, and I think it's so funny. And this is literally one of my favorite middle grade series trilogies out there, and I love it so much. This is the final book in the trilogy, and I have the arc already on my shelf, but because I have the other 2 books in finished copies, I figured I would keep both the arcs and the finished copies. And I always paint the edges of my finished copies. So I think the first one is a blue cover with red, so I painted the edges red. The second one is green, so I believe I did the edges in gold. And then this one is purple and green. I'm gonna do more of that green and paint the edges green. So yeah, I can't wait to reread it. I might do a reading blog based on like middle grade novels, because I do have a middle grade shelf and quite a few of them. And this is definitely one. Except also Dragon Watch by Brandon Mall is another one of my favorite middle grade series, but we have that. Then I picked up 2 paperback copies of Nevermoor and Wundersmith by Jessica Townsend, because I had the final copy, finished copy, excuse me, of Hollowpox that was sent to me for review, and I just wanted to get my hands on paperback copies of these. I didn't really care if it was paperback or hardcover. Paperback was cheaper. It is what it is. I'm not one of those people who's very like gung-ho about my series matching. If it's like a duology, then I'm kind of skeptical, like they should both be paperback or both be hardcover. But if it's like 3 or more books, I honestly don't care. I feel like hardcovers definitely are prettier, but they're also heavier on the bookshelf. And as you can see, my shelves are stacked with books, so I got the paperback copies, which I don't mind. And if I did get the hardcovers, I would have probably wanted, I believe it's the Australian copies with the pretty artwork on them. So gorgeous, but I ain't about to spend that kind of cash, so I just got the paperbacks. So we have those, and I'm excited to sort of, I want to say reread it, because I read it, but I quickly went through it so that I could read Hollowpox, and I didn't get a chance to fully immerse myself in it. So I want to reread it and tab it, and now that I have physical copies, I can do that, because I did read the ebook copies. But yeah, we have that. Okay, we're almost done. So the next stack is going to be books that I picked up from Dollar Tree. I am an avid person who believes that you should go to Dollar Tree, check it out, because your local Dollar Tree can definitely have some amazing books. Now, what I find with Dollar Tree is that they normally have like sequels and never really the first book in a series, which is interesting. But I have some here. So this first book is actually a thriller. It's a domestic thriller, and I got this. I saw the ratings on Goodreads. It was like a low 3. So I don't mind. I mean, I only paid $1 for this book. This book retails for $10, but I only paid $1. And it's called The Neighbor by Joseph Souza. I think that's how you say that name. And it's a domestic thriller. I want to try it out. I'm trying to get into thrillers and horrors and suspenses and mysteries and things like that. So I figured this would be a nice one. On the back, it says, in a taut psychological thriller filled with breathtaking twists, Joseph Souza explores the tangle of betrayal and deception between 2 neighboring couples and asks how well we can really know ourselves or others. So yeah, it's scary and disturbing, dark psychological twists and turns. It horrifies. So yeah, I'm excited to give it a go and see what I think. So yeah. Then I picked up a middle grade. It's actually, like I said, the sequel. It's in the A Riddle and Ruby trilogy, I think it is. This is book 2, and it's called The Changer's Key. I did look it up on Goodreads, and this middle grade series actually has really great ratings. So I'm gonna find a physical copy or an ebook copy of the first book, read it, and then dive into this. So yeah, and it doesn't look like it's gonna be hard to read. So yeah, I'm excited to dive in to this here. And I'm not gonna read the back, like I said, because I don't really know much about it. But it looks to be fantasy inspired, or a fantasy middle grade novel, if that makes sense. So yep. Okay, and then these I just picked up. So they're all YA. So this one is YA dystopian or horror. I don't know, it says horror, but I believe it is a sci-fi. And this is actually the sequel. It's by Jenna Black. It's Night Magic. The first one is called Night Struck, so I'm gonna have to find an ebook of that. And I still like reading like old school, when I say old school, I mean early 2000 YA novels every now and then. So I figured this would be a fun one to read. So yeah, it looks interesting. I don't know much about it. I'm not gonna read the back. It says Night Struck is a fast-paced, brutal, delightfully bizarre Philadelphia gone evil So yeah, it looks to be urban sci-fi fantasy. I don't know. But yeah, this is the sequel, so I gotta get Night Struck, which is the first book. The next book I got is Seven Black Diamonds by Melissa Marr. This is actually the first book in the series, and it deals with fays and YA fantasy. I have heard many things about this. I think I own it on my Nook, but I just never read it through. So when I saw that they had a physical copy in the first book in the series, I got it because why not? So yeah, we have this. Then I saw these books here, both paperback. So this one is Miss Mayhem. It's a sequel to Rebel Belle by Rachel Hawkins. I've been wanting to read Rebel Belle, right? Yeah, Rebel Belle for a long time. I heard the sequel doesn't live up to the first book, but I still want to give it a go for myself. The third book is also going to be Lady Renegades. So depending on how I feel about the ebook of Rebel Belle, I may pick up finished copies or final physical copies, excuse me, of books 1 and 3. But I love the cover. It's so pretty. So pretty. So we have that. And this is, I think, fantasy. I think it's fantasy. If I'm not mistaken, it's on the screen, but I think this is fantasy from what I remember. But we have this. Then we have this, which is classified as like horror. And I remember when the first book came out, I thought it was super, super pretty because the first book is all pink. And then all the other books are amazing as well. So they have the fourth one in the series, and I was like, why not? I want to get into the horror genre and read it. So I got this. This is The Mercy List, the fourth book. Last Rites by Danielle Vega. The first one is The Mercy List. The second one is The Exorcism of Sophia Flores. The third one is Origins of Evil. And then this one is Last Rites. I don't know anything except that this is YA horror, and I think the first one takes place at an all-girls school or something like that. It was something along those lines. I can't remember. I've always wanted to read it, but I've just been skeptical because I don't do horror. So I figured they had it. It's a sign. Read it. So I'm gonna give it a go, and hopefully I don't scare myself silly. Pretty much. So yep. Last book I found at Dollar Tree is this one by Amy Rose Capetta, which I've been wanting to read for a minute. I think this is the first book. I don't know if this is going to be a series or not. I don't honestly remember. I don't keep up with books like that. But it's The Brilliant Death. It's full of old magic, new love, and dark delight. And it's blurred by Alison Goodman, who wrote Eon and Iona. I have not read either one of those. It's also blurred by Alwyn Hamilton, who wrote Rebel Sands, and then Alex London, who wrote Black Wings Beating. So I'm excited to dive into this. I love, and these end pages are so pretty. I love when they have maps. Okay, is it the same map? I don't know if this is like the same map or not. Let me see. Yeah, it's the same map on the end pages, but I love that. And I'm excited to dive into it. I don't know much about it. It says, love isn't simple, but it can be brilliant. A daughter torn between loyalty to her family and owning her power. A debonair orphan with a gift for shape-shifting, a lush sweeping gender bending, and endlessly surprising love story. Ooh, I'm excited. So it's a written tale of identity, courage, and family, wrapped up in magic that feels both folktale familiar and enthrallingly innovative. Goosebumps. I'm excited. It's daring. I'm excited for this. So we have The Brilliant Death, which I'm super. I think of all of these, this is like the one I'm most excited to read. So we have that. Okay, and the last set of books I got all from book boxes. So all of these boxes will be linked somewhere to watch. But this one is A Dance of Fate, or Dance with Fate by Juliet Marillier. It's the second book in the Warrior Bards. I got this in my sci-fi collection box from Jean Book Nerd Storytellers box. So click the eye to go to the unboxing. But it's a sequel. I haven't read the first book. So yeah, I need to get the first book, or I might just read the ebook. But I can't really describe what this is about, but I know that it's set somewhere in Ireland. I think it's set in Ireland. And it says, a young woman who was a bard and a warrior seeks to repair her debts and settle scores in this thrilling historical fantasy series. So that's all I'm going to read because this is a sequel. Like I said, I don't want to spoil it. But I think the reason why I was intrigued by this is because the music is a part of the magic system. And I thought that was interesting. So yeah, if you guys have read this, let me know if I'm right. I don't know, but I'm excited to read it. I find that Julia Marilier's writing is pretty good, but it never really like grips me at all, if that makes sense. So I'm definitely trying to find a series from her that I can love. But yeah, we have this. Okay, the next two books I got from a Christian book box, which I don't talk about on this channel, but there is a Christian book box that I get every month called the Delilah box, which is a phenomenal box, and you always get 2 to 3 books. So for this month, I got, or rather for November, I got a Christian fiction and a biblical fiction. So the Christian fiction is Her Brother's Keeper by Beth Wiseman. It is a part of her Amish Secrets novel. I'm not a big fan of Amish novels. Amish novels are definitely like so I don't want to say pinnacle, but like the most popular in the Christian fiction genre, and I'm not a big fan of it, and I'm gonna try this one out. It sounds intriguing. It basically follows a young girl named Charlotte Delinsky who goes into the Amish community looking for her brother, and upon looking for her brother, she kind of finds some things, and I guess she gets pulled into the Amish community. I'm not really sure, but we're gonna give it a go. And then the second book I got is one that I've read already, loved already, and it's Counted with the Stars by Kaylnn. It's the first book in her Out from Egypt trilogy. This is a phenomenal book. I gave this book 5 stars. I loved it. It basically follows a young girl named Kia, or Kaya, however you pronounce it, during the time of the 10 plagues and the Exodus, where she leaves her people to become one of God's chosen, in a sense, and she meets a young girl named Shira, and they become best of friends, and things happen, and it's so good. I love the romance, I love the action, I love the drama, and it's beautiful. So we have that. The last 3 books I have are going to be my book of the month picks for November. So my actual book of the month November pick was These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. YA fantasy. It is Romeo and Juliet inspired, set in Shanghai in 1926. So I'm excited to dive into this. A lot of people have been raving about this, and I cannot wait to get into it soon. Then I got this one, which is The Library of Legends by Janie Chung. I've been wanting to read this for a minute. It sounds really epic. It's sort of magical realism. It follows a bunch of college students who have to carry this Library of Legends, and I believe the creatures within the Library of Legends come to life during their time while they're trying to leave, because there's some bombings that are happening place. There are some bombings that are taking place. So it's 1937. Japanese bombs began falling on the city of Nanking, and 19-year-old Hulian, I think, and her classmates from Ming University are ordered to flee. They also have to carry this collection of myths and folklore known as the Library of Legends, and yeah, there's a romance that ensues and things like that, and it sounded really, really intriguing. It's historical fiction, magical realism, and I'm excited to dive into this, and I love the cover. So pretty. The final book I have for you guys is going to be Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. I'm on a hunt to just get all of his books from Book of the Month since they're all there. I read Home Before Dark and I loved it. I didn't give it a 5 star, but I gave it like a 4.5, I believe. I truly enjoyed it, so I definitely want to dive into this. And I heard mixed things about it, but who cares? I'm actually going to be reading this in the month of December, so I'm super stoked for this. And it basically follows a young girl who, not a young girl per se, but it follows Jules, and she becomes an apartment sitter at the Bartholomew in Manhattan's most glamorous and secretive buildings, and some creepy stuff happens. There's a lot of rules and regulations to apartment sitting, and I am excited to read this and sort of feel messed up and see how I feel compared to Home Before Dark, because I really did enjoy Home Before Dark. Home Before Dark messed me up. It messed me up, so I'm excited to see how far this one messes me up as well. But that is pretty much it for my book haul. Quite a lot of books, not a lot of review books, more so many purchased, but obviously I purchased them from like Dollar Tree and Amazon and Walmart, so I didn't pay like full price. I didn't go to Barnes and Nobles for the month of November, but I did do some Barnes and Noble shopping this month for December, and I did pick up 4 books, so I don't know if I'm gonna make another trip to Barnes and Nobles or not. If I do, I might pick up 4 more books, because anytime I go, I pick up anywhere between 3 to 5 books. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, rating, commenting, subscribing, and all that great stuff. If you have read any of these books, let me know, and if you would like a review on any of these books or hear my thoughts, let me know. And so that's pretty much it, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.